Hey guys, Gaming Off the Grid here, and school is back in session, and it got me thinking, what was my favorite subject back in the day? Oh, I know, parties!
And few things go together better than partying and gaming. But there's only 2 of us here on Gaming Off the Grid. So we brought along 2 of our best friends in the entire world, and let's just say we're gonna have ourselves a party.
We've got 5 great games you're not gonna want to miss at any party.
I love to party and I love to game, and when I party, I gotta have a little bit of you-know-what.
We all know Pineapple. He's liked it since he was a baby boy. So we brought along Exile's Pineapple Bohemian Sour from one of Des Moines, Iowa's finest breweries.
So make sure you hit the subscribe button, ring the bell icon so you never miss an upload, and sit back, relax, pour yourself a beer if you care to, and enjoy this episode of Gaming Off the Grid.
It's a party!
Alright, here we go. 5 great party games that we can just not stop playing.
Yeah, I want you all to imagine that you are Gordon Ramsay. Now just hear me out for a second. There's 3 great ingredients to a great party. 1, good friends. 2, great games. And 3, cold, delicious beer.
Did you just get your cable hooked up?
Yeah, why are you asking?
Because that analogy just blows my mind. But nonetheless, we have 5 great party games that we want to discuss with you today that we think if you take to any party, you are going to be a fan favorite. We're going to start with Mario Kart 8. You can get this game on the Wii U or the Nintendo Switch, so it's fairly accessible. What do you guys think of this game?
It's great. Loved it. This is my favorite Mario Kart in the series, and I don't know if you agree or not.
Yeah, on my personal list, I would have picked Mario Kart Double Dash for the GameCube. That game's incredible, but it is a little bit harder. There is more of a learning curve, so I understand why we chose Mario Kart 8, because anyone can pick this game up and play it.
So, I mean, truth be told, if you have any Mario Kart game laying around, dust it off and bring it to a party. It's going to be a great addition. But Mario Kart 8 is the closest thing to perfection I think Nintendo has achieved in the franchise. It brings so many things together, stitches together so many generations of the history of the series. So if you've played it on Super Nintendo or beyond, there's a character in this game that you maybe relate to or that you've played with before, or a track even. Like I was going through and there's all these retro tracks from GameCube to N64 to even the Super Nintendo, so it's really accessible and the controls are super tight and easy to explain. If you're sitting there thinking, oh, Mario Kart 64 is the one to go with, I'm not going to argue with you, but let's talk about the power slide mechanism. The power slide mechanism in Mario Kart 64 is a 1 tap on the R button and you have to hold it through the slide. It's hard to explain to someone. You know that if you're good at the game. Mario Kart 8, it's not like that. You can teach the power slide to anyone who's a newcomer to the game. Hence, these gentlemen here who were winning by the end of our time with the game. What did you think of it?
I enjoyed it quite a bit. I mean, I hadn't played a Mario Kart since the Super Nintendo version, and it took me a few races to catch on, but once I did, I mean, it felt very familiar.
Yeah. By the end, you were whipping our ass. So,
Yeah, I love racing games in general, and this game is definitely the apex of the Mario Kart series.
Yeah, so Mario Kart 8, pick it up and bring it to a party. You cannot miss it.
absolutely. 1, 2.
Thank you.
2 on the 2.
Alright.
He got the boost!
Shut up!
Woo!
You bet it don't matter. Alright, the next game on our list is Super Bomberman R for the PS4.
Yeah, and this game was on one of your guys' first ever episodes.
Yeah, we did a full review on this game, and it blew our minds. I had never played any of the Bomberman games, and I was speechless playing it. It's so much fun.
And suffice it to say, we can't stop playing this goddamn game. Like, it's so good. It's really interesting. So, kind of a little behind the scenes on this. We were all submitting games to each other that would be a part of this episode. And the one you submitted was Mega Bomberman on Sega Genesis. So, I'm really interested to hear your take on this game.
I enjoyed it quite a bit. I enjoyed how the different characters you could pick from Dick Viper, Solid Snake, you know, all those different guys. And what I really enjoyed is they all had different abilities that would help you. The one thing I really wished it had, the reason I picked Mega Bomberman though, was the ability to ride the Louis.
Which are what? I mean, they're like a kangaroo.
Yeah, they're
Kangaroo.
weird.
Yeah.
We played that game for a little bit, and it was funny.
Yeah, it's a really good game, and I thought it was a really good game to get the conversation going, and we tried playing it. It's the thing is it's got fairly low accessibility because it was on the Sega Genesis, which if you still have one of those, that's awesome. You know, we do, but not everybody does. And then to have a multi-tap to be able to play it 4-player makes it kind of tough.
Good luck.
But nonetheless, it was awesome. But Super Bomberman R, there's this aspect it introduces that I think is a really important thing. You're never out until you're out, right? So if you get killed or eliminated, you end up on the perimeter of the map, and you can launch bombs in, and if you kill someone who's still alive, you get to replace them and take over and still be in the game.
Yeah, and that's awesome for party games, because there's some people at parties that aren't gamers, so they might be the first one to die, and they're like, oh man, this sucks, I wish I would have stayed at home and just watched Netflix. No! You're still in the game!
Yeah.
You can still kill people, and you can still win. Yeah, and I've died first multiple times and still won. Another thing about this game is, it's challenging, it's fast-paced, and it's time-infuriating. So that's just on top of how sweet it is. It's just, this game's awesome.
Yeah, I love the element of outsmarting your opponents. There's a lot of strategy involved for sure.
Well, I think a lot of these games, like to be a great party game, strategy has to be an element. Like you can be really good at the game, but the people who aren't have to feel like they're still in. And you go back to Mario Kart 8, which we discussed. Whether you're in 8th or 1st and during that final lap, truly you feel like and you truly can still win.
Yeah.
And in Super Bomberman R, you can be the first guy out or first gal out
and still win.
Yeah, absolutely. And so there's that element of everyone literally has a chance. But if you're the best at the game, you feel like the majority of the time you're going to take the cake home and you're going to...
Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck!
Yeah! Oh, fuck! God damn it! I killed both.
How did you win?
You were both alive.
How?
I killed both of you.
How? And you're the first one to die.
Next game on the list, NBA Jam On Fire Edition for the PS3. This is probably one of my favorite games of all time, I have to say. I don't know if you guys could tell or not. But,
you definitely cleaned our clocks in the Hooping Off the Grid episode, but this game definitely warrants representation and discussion in multiple episodes because of the games on this list. This is truly a hidden gem that I think flew under most people's radar. I don't think it gets near the love that it should get. This is one of the best iterations in a franchise that everybody knows about, but they don't know about this version of the game.
Yeah, there's not much learning curve involved. I mean, it's like pick it up and play, man. Shoot threes and shove people. That's the name of the game.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to hear what you thought about this game because you played a ton of this on Sega Genesis.
Well, I mean, it was just like riding a bike. Shooting the threes, it felt very similar. I mean, you release the ball at the height of your jump, you're going to make it. If you're close enough to the hoop, you're going to dunk it. It was very similar to the Genesis games.
Which is awesome because most people out there, have played an NBA Jam game. So speaking to that accessibility, within a few quarters, you were adequate at this game and really hitting your stride. And so I think that makes it a very awesome game to the list.
This is a digital download only game, so it's not going to be the easiest to find. We have it for PS3. I'm not quite sure if it's on the Xbox 360 store. The Wii store is closed, so if you don't have
sad face,
if you don't have a PS3 or an Xbox 360, I don't think you're going to be able to find this game. Which sucks because it's such an awesome game.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, if you still have those consoles and can get it online, you need to grab this game before you can't because it is a fantastic experience.
Dunk it! Dunk it! Dunk it! They have to make it 3 here.
Oh, damn it!
God dang it!
Yeah, we had that. That was just bad.
That might be the best game of NBA Jam I've ever witnessed.
Okay, so for this next one, I'm probably not even going to say it right. Stickbold. Gotta admit, when the text thread came through of you submitting this game, I was thinking to myself, Brian, what the hell is this shit? So what is Stickbold?
It's the greatest dodgeball game ever made. It's got fishing poles, it's got Zambonis, it's got
that is true.
lightning
I forgot
bolts.
about that.
It's got anything you would ever probably not think of in a dodgeball game.
Yeah, from the character select screen on in, we knew we were in for a ride. Now, full disclosure, we were 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, possibly
15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
beers, cocktails in, but it was a hoot. Been friends with this gentleman here since about 7th, 8th grade, and he was laughing as hard as I know him to be able to laugh.
Yeah, I've never seen him laugh so hard, especially the first time I played with him. It made me laugh the hardest I've ever laughed.
Yeah,
it was hilarious.
But it was great. It's a great game.
It was so much fun. Oh my gosh. It's more than just a dodgeball game. I mean, it's kind of similar to Bomberman. When you get eliminated, you're on the perimeter of the map and you can still wreak havoc. But you can't get yourself back into the game once you're out. But it's still fun.
Yeah, it's still fun to just cause havoc.
Well, and maybe take out the person that took you out.
Yeah.
There is some
Revenge.
justice in that equation there.
Should we mention the fact that I don't think this guy even knows how to throw the ball in this game? All he does is body check people off the map.
Yeah, which if you get him off the map, that's like a win. So he was
And he
winning
wins.
matches. He was winning matches without ever like throwing the dodgeball at someone, which is pretty ridiculous.
I'm just gonna say that's my strategy.
Gosh, thinks it's hot.
Even though I don't know, I couldn't tell you right now how to do what I was doing.
That's why I was getting so pissed when we were playing it, because I knew that. I was like, he's winning and he is drunk and he doesn't know what he's doing, but he feels good about himself right now, which I have a problem with. But anyways, Stick Bold PS4. It's probably available on other platforms. That's how we ended up playing it. But I gotta give it to you for pulling a rabbit out of your ass, because that was a fantastic.
Yeah, this
game.
is a fantastic indie game. You should pick it up.
Yep.
God damn it.
I got someone that broke someone's arm.
I got lucky. I'll take it.
All right, and the last game on our list, Rocket League. Such a fantastic game, and it's such a weird concept. If you don't know what Rocket League is, it's basically cars playing soccer. And you're like, okay, that sounds dumb. But no, this game is awesome.
Now, most of you out there who have played this game, you're playing it online, aren't you? Yeah, see? We know how you are. Kiddies, unplug the Ethernet cord. 4-player split screen Rocket League is freaking intense, and it's a lot of fun, and we had a great time with it.
Yeah, the first time I ever played Rocket League was 4-player split screen at a family Christmas. My uncle had a giant projector, and he had it for PS4, and me and my cousins played this for like 5 or 6 hours up until like 5 a.m. one night, and it was so much fun, and I was like, what is happening?
It is so much fun. It's one of my favorite games on the new generation of consoles for sure. There is a little bit of a learning curve.
It's pretty steep. I mean, the three of us have played it, but you hadn't. So what did you think of the learning curve?
Well, I mean, it did take me a while to catch on, but, knowing where I needed to be, what I needed to do to get the ball where it needed to go. But once I had that all figured out, it was a blast.
Yeah, the physics of this game, I think, is the biggest part. Anybody out there, it's kind of a weird equation, but Twisted Metal it comes to mind when I first played this game. Controlling the vehicles in Twisted Metal, not that the buttons are the same, but in this game, has a very similar mechanic, and that was the first game that came to mind when I played this. When I could get my brain there, I started scoring goals left and right.
So Rocket League for our 5th game of the best party games.
It's like the...
Dude, it's centered for you. It's centered for you. Pop it in.
I got it. Oh, somebody just
You
fucking
said you
cleared.
had it.
Well, somebody fucking cleared it at the last second.
Yeah, what's his name? You.
I don't know.
Now, what do you guys think of this beer?
Exile Brewery out of Des Moines, Iowa. Sours are really their jam. So, with that being said, it's really hard to review this beer because if I'm looking at a global perspective, this is a freaking incredible sour.
It's so good.
If I'm looking at analyzing Exile perspective, which doesn't apply to most of you watching this, just the Des Moines area folks, this is probably their 3rd or 4th best sour they've released. The Cherry Bohemian, Blackberry Bohemian, I think are better than this. This is very good. It's a great summer beer. The pineapple notes and that don't really come through to the forefront like I would expect, but it's really, really good. So it's kind of a hard thing to explain. If you're a sour beer fan, you definitely need to try this out. If you're in the Des Moines area, it's good, but it's not Exile's best sour.
This is a seasonal beer. They release a new sour like every summer. So I don't know when they're going to release a pineapple beer again. And if they do, it might not be the same recipe, it might not be the same equation. So this is just what they have now. So if you're in the area now, you should grab it. But if you're not, good luck.
Yeah, sour beers are a hard thing to review. You guys don't have a lot of experience in the sour realm. What'd you think of it?
Well, it was sour, and I definitely tasted the pineapple. I mean, if I had the opportunity to try it again, I definitely would.
Yeah, I'm not a sour beer fan, but this was drinkable. This is one of the best of the worst types of beers. Yeah, I love pineapple, and there's a hint of it.
All right, well, 5 great party games we can't stop playing. We might come at you eventually with a holistic top 5 party games of all time.
Oh, that's going to be so
We
hard.
didn't go back through like our childhood memories and all that stuff. All we grabbed was 5 games that we literally like playing right now, today, when we're playing at parties with friends and so on and so forth. And we brought along a great pineapple Bohemian beer. Sour beer you should definitely try.
So keep gaming, keep drinking. We'll see you next time on Gaming Off the Grid.
Oh, let me guess. Pineapples?
And it got me thinking, what was my favorite class back then? Parties.
Yeah, and there's one fine thing that I remember from party class. Exile's Pineapple Bohemian Sour. It's an unfiltered sour beer brewed with pineapples. And we're gonna put it in our mouths and drink it and get drunk from it.
And it got me thinking, what was my favorite subject back in the day? Oh, I know, Parties 101!
Oh,
Exactly, and read my lips.
and read my lips. That's what she said.
She said to the man in the dark alley to his blind wife.
Oh my God.